Welcome back to Top 5. San Quentin State Prison, USA. Nestled in California, San Quentin serves as a grim reminder of the justice system's darkest corners. Known for its notoriously overcrowded cells and oppressive atmosphere, inmates face harsh realities daily. The infamous death row, where prisoners are held in solitary confinement for decades, adds to the psychological torment. The prison's notorious gangs also create an environment where violence is commonplace, making life inside a perilous ordeal. 9. La Santé Prison, France. Often described as unhygienic and overcrowded, La Santé Prison in Paris has developed a reputation for its inhumane conditions. Inmates are cut off from the outside world, living in small, dilapidated cells. The lack of medical care and heating during the cold months often leads to diseases spreading rapidly, creating a dire situation for those incarcerated inside. 8. ADX Florence, USA. Known as the Supermax Prison, ADX Florence in Colorado is home to the most dangerous criminals in the United States. Inmates here are placed in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day and subjected to extreme sensory deprivation. The psychological effects can be devastating, effectively treating inmates as less than human, confined in concrete cells with little human contact. 7. Rikers Island, USA. Rikers Island is infamous for its violence and chaotic environment. Overcrowding and understaffing have led to a culture of abuse among both inmates and guards. Reports of violence, neglect, and rampant gang activity create a fear-ridden atmosphere. Inmates report that being treated like an animal is the norm, with constant threats hanging over them. 6. Guantanamo Bay Detention Camp, Cuba. Originally established for suspected terrorists, Guantanamo Bay has drawn international condemnation for its treatment of detainees. Reports of torture, prolonged solitary confinement, and the lack of fair trials create a hellish environment that echoes the worst of wartime atrocities. Here, the concept of justice is lost, and humanity is stripped away, leaving behind mere shells of once living beings. 5. Black Dolphin Prison, Russia. Located near the Russian border, Black Dolphin is notorious for housing some of the most dangerous offenders. Inmates live under a regime designed to dehumanize them. They are essentially treated as animals, enduring constant surveillance and strict rules that allow very little personal freedom. The psychological breakdown of prisoners within these walls is notorious, adding to the prison's fearsome reputation. 4. Bangkok Central Prison, Thailand. Often referred to as the Bangkok Hilton, this facility has garnered infamy for its inhumane conditions. Inmates suffer from overcrowding, poor sanitation, and inadequate food. The prison also has a notorious death row where condemned men are treated with disdain, living their last days in unbearable uncertainty and fear. 3. Cino Prison, Poland. Known for its brutality, Cino stands as one of Europe's worst prisons. The atmosphere is rife with violence, and the guards are notorious for their cruelty. Inmates are forced to endure freezing temperatures without proper clothing or heating. Reports of extreme punishment for minor infractions create a frightening existence where prisoners often live in fear of both their fellow inmates and the guards. 2. Camp 22, North Korea. The infamous Camp 22 is a re-education center where political prisoners and their families are held without trial. Conditions are horrifying. The inmates live in constant starvation, forced labor, and severe punishment. The absence of any legal process paints a grim picture of life inside, where people struggle to survive under the brutal regime's watchful eyes. 1. Carandiru Prison, Brazil. Carandiru Prison, although now closed, is a haunting testament to the dangers of inhumane treatment. Once housing thousands of inmates, Carandiru became infamous for its violence, riots, and the historic massacre of 1992, where police brutally killed over 100 inmates during a rebellion. The prison was plagued by overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, and rampant gang violence, making it a living hell for those trapped within its walls.